Part of what generated this movie I'm doing today is someone asked a question about really trying to understand the difference between this stroke command, which is currently grayed out, and the stroke layer style. So just as an example, I'm going to show you very quickly what the differences, and then right after that move on to some interesting things you can do. Now I'm just making a selection. I'm holding down Option or Alt and the Shift key so that I can draw from the center outwards. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and draw another circle and then another circle. Why? Because I feel like it. Really no other reason other than that. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and stroke it using this command. So if we can position it somewhere. Now you don't get any preview, that's kind of unfortunate. So let's just say we're going to make the width 5. Now, if you were stroking something that was rectangular, you typically want to go inside because then you'll get nice square corners. But in my case, I deliberately am going to go center on this. When you click OK, you'll see that the stroke is indeed centered on my selection, and then I can deselect it. The downside to this is now that all I have is just simply a layer that has pixels on it that happen to have been stroked. When you use the layer style called stroke, it just has more options, including the ability to kind of change with whatever's on the layer. But what I want to show you here, and I'm going to have to do it, I guess, like this. I'm going to pull it further down. You don't really need to see the OK button. All I'm doing at this point is looking, and this is the default stroke, which defaults to red. I'm going to pick some other color. Let's go white. So here I'm getting some interesting options now because the width of this stroke style is different. It's on the outside. I'm getting kind of a double stroke. Remember, my original stroke was black. If I change this higher or lower, you'll see I'll get a different result. That's on outside. If I change it to inside, then you don't see the black. And with the center, you'll see just a small amount of black given the size of this. So you have to be, well, I'm going to go back to outside because I think that's a whole lot better in this particular case. Now, as you experiment with this, you'll get different results, of course. Now, that's if you leave everything just as is. But one of the options that I might want to do is go, whoops, not that. Sorry, I meant to click up here and see where this says fill opacity. If I lower the fill opacity to 0, it means the black goes away. So I just simply get a double ring stroke effect. The advantage of doing it as a layer style is at any time I can easily go back just by double clicking on it and deciding. Let's go back down, click on the bottom where it shows stroke, and then I can play around. I can change the color. Let's actually try something different though. Let's go back, put the fill back for a moment, and then go back to the stroke, and this time we're going to fill it with a gradient instead of with a color. And you'll see there already some different options. I can pop up this little menu. Boy, everywhere I move this you can't see it, but let's at least try to see it. Sorry about the moving palettes here, but I want you to kind of see what's going on. Here I'm stroking with a gradient. Now again I can change the size up or down. You can also stroke with a pattern. We're going to do that in part 2 of our movie to show how you can actually create a dotted line using this same technique, or I should say a dashed line using this same technique. Now, as I said, in part 2 I'll take a look at expanding on this a little bit, but for now just start playing with this whole idea, especially gradients and strokes, some interesting possibilities. Okay, well that's not one of them, but there are lots of interesting possibilities. I'm Dave Cross. We shall see you next time.